Ladies and Gentlemen, hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen React hier auf Pizme TV. Heute mit dem Jay, dem Sebastian, dem Christian und mir, dem Peter. Schön, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Und heute schauen wir uns an ein Video VFX-Artists react to bad and great CGI 18. Also das ist jetzt ein Video, wo Leute, die Effekte in Filmen selber machen, auf bestimmte Effekte in Filmen eingehen und sagen, was scheiße war und was gut ist.
Du kennst dich ja aus, Peter. Was ist VFX?
VFX sind Visual Effects. Du machst quasi den Unterschied zwischen Special Effects und Visual Effects. Visual Effects ist quasi, das ist das Hauptzeug mittlerweile. Du machst am Computer einen Effekt. Das ist wie ein Greenscreen oder eine Explosion, die im Computer entsteht oder sowas. Und Special Effects, da redet man in der Regel eigentlich von praktischen Effekten. Also wenn du halt tatsächlich etwas explodieren lässt vor der Kamera.
Oder Godzilla in echt da rumläuft.
Jo, so habe ich es zumindest noch im Kopf. Deswegen geht es hier primär halt um Visual Effects, also um Computereffekte.
Okay.
Shooting through the walls, amazing.
Oh. That's de-aged Joe Pesci?
So how do you guys think they got this shot?
Oh my God. I lost it in theaters when that happened.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of VFX-Artists React. We take a look at some of the craziest VFX shots in Hollywood, break down how they're done, and give them our own critiques as visual effects artists on what maybe could have been done to make them better, or perhaps what makes them so amazing to begin with.
Such classic reactions as, oh, and wow.
Hey, jetzt macht sich mal nicht hierüber lustig. Ja? Ihr macht auch Reacts.
Look at the neck. Look at that neck.
Behind Enemy Lines. Wisst ihr noch, wie der auf Deutsch hieß?
Hinter feindlichen Linien.
Ernsthaft?
Nee. Ich meine schon.
Okay, ich hab den damals auf jeden Fall gesehen. Ich fand den einen ganz coolen Actionfilm, weil der Typ ist dann ja abgestürzt.
Ja, der
im Fadenkreuz hieß der.
Ja,
ja,
genau.
allein gegen
So hieß
alle.
der.
Hinter feindlichen Linien.
Das war ein Classic-Set.
Ich kenne ihn auch nicht.
Okay, okay. 2001.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time, actually. It's probably the best jet sequence caught on film.
Look at that how it goes through the smoke there.
We need a bigger heat decoy. I got 2 missiles in sight.
Oh, right in the fireball.
Bit of a weird looking fireball, but whatever,
Yeah,
who
that one
cares?
is
Look
so
at the
good.
shot.
Here he comes, head on right side. Eject.
Oh man, okay, let's take a look at how they did this sequence.
Dude. For all the jet stuff, they dropped the cameraman on top of the tallest mountain, and he probably had like a 1,000mm lens. And they just had this jet going through this valley.
And it was really smart to drop the guy on top of a mountain too, because then you get the ground behind the jet and you get motion blur. Otherwise it's just the air and you can't tell how fast it's moving.
That's what makes this whole scene is the live action jet footage and the intensity.
Yeah.
So when you add in your CG missile, it doesn't feel as CG, because most of it is real.
And the smoke plume on a missile is not super complicated in terms of simulation. You can just do it with particles and puffs.
Guck mal, jetzt lernt man hier drüber nochmal wirklich was.
That shot.
Yes. Is that a
Haben sie
miniature?
bei Top Gun auch
I think
so
it's
gemacht.
gotta be miniature. There's no way that's CG in 2001.
Miniature tree
Yeah.
with an air blast gun.
I think the way you could tell is does it feel like it was in slow motion? Because miniatures are usually filmed in slow motion to make them look big when they move. Yeah. Yeah, it's got the slow motion vibes. And I think what it is, it's 3 miniature trees on like a green or blue screen, and the background's a matte from the actual location.
Yeah.
So how do you guys think they got this shot? Because they probably don't have a film camera in a jet.
Based off of some of these other shots in the sequence, I think they had some miniatures. And I'm wondering if this is a miniature set that they're getting this plate with.
Although it's totally feasible, though, that they would simply just take a helicopter and fly it through this environment where they've had the jet and just have some aerial footage to work with.
Yeah, when I look at the shot, I see like the miniature wing most likely, and just a background plate from the helicopter, and then the missiles dropped in. Watch the clouds in this shot. Notice how the clouds are moving all fast?
Maybe they had like an aerial shot, a practical one, that they just wanted to speed up to match the speed of the missile.
We had the same issue in our Superman with a GoPro video where Superman needs to fly fast. And if you watch closely in that video and you look at the road, you can see all the cars speed up and slow down.
Interesting.
It all just looks very realistic. They definitely looked at their reference footage and got it right. So I look at the statistics. 40% of the people watching this still are not subscribed. So if you enjoyed the show, please consider subscribing. It helps us out a bunch.
All those potential subscribers.
You guys are making Sam cry. Why aren't you subscribed to the channel?
I've never seen Sam cry before. It'd be really awkward if I did, so please subscribe to the channel.
And to all of you who are subscribed, you're the best.
Russell, he took a shine to me right
Oh
away.
no.
Ich finde das jetzt so Spoiler.
Another 3.5 hours of Martin Scorsese's Irish Gangsters.
Normally when you're watching a
Sag mal,
movie
stopp mal.
with de-aged...
Das war der Das war der Typ von Kevin allein zu Hause, oder?
Ja,
Joe Pesci, ja.
Ja, was weiß ich, wie der heißt. Ich kenne den Film
Geile ist,
Irishman noch
der
nicht
ist
gesehen.
bekannt geworden mit Mafia-Filmen.
Genau, also Mafia-Filme
Pesci.
sind eher bekannt, deswegen.
Nee, für
Aber
mich hier
Kevin allein
kennt
zu
man
Hause.
aus Kevin
Ja,
allein zu
klar.
Hause.
Ja, sicher kennt man den auch daher.
Das ist lustig.
In it. They're trying to actually make them look younger, but what's funny about the Irishman is that they bring him from very old to old.
That's de-aged Joe Pesci?
So this is how old they are for real right now.
He's dead! He's, huh? What?
See what I'm saying?
In a case like this, the best thing to do is you use something brand new.
When you mess with someone's
What?
age, whether you're making them older or younger, you
That's
are
the
creating a
Irishman.
full
Ich finde halt, das sieht strange aus.
Ja, man sieht, dass es überarbeitet ist.
Das sieht halt wie ein Videospiel teilweise aus.
Ja.
Also das siehst du halt schon noch. Es ist
Aber
ja auch nicht so
gut.
detailliert. Guck dir mal an, also wie der Weichzeichner allein
Ja,
schon,
genau,
wie
ja.
glatt das teilweise ist.
Ja, aber wenn man jetzt den Vergleich sieht, ich weiß nicht, ob man den im Film so leicht erkennt.
Ja, der Film hat mich
quasi
schon
so
ein
das
bisschen gestört.
and comping them into the shot. It looks generally pretty good, and I would say most scenes actually in the movie work really
Stört mich
flawlessly.
überhaupt gar
It
nicht.
starts looking a little weird when Robert De Niro starts walking.
But you get that like
Yeah.
floaty head
Yeah, but
vibe.
like, why is it?
Ja.
I think the telltale sign of the CG face is all in the neckline though, because basically you have to deal with the neck folds and stuff and paint out and reconstruct stuff there, and so you kind of get this all too clean line.
No, you don't owe me anything.
So the challenge that ILM faced here is that Martin Scorsese didn't want a bunch of motion trackers and mocap suits. He's like, listen, I'm gonna be on set. I don't want to see any of the technology. So what they did is every actor is being filmed with 3 cameras simultaneously. So you have the real camera in the center, and it's flanked by 2 more digital cameras. They're getting 3 perspectives on one object, the actor's face, and from that they can rebuild the geometry. The crazy thing is like the camera rig is like this wide.
Yeah.
This is like 3 giant cameras.
It's the most chungus of camera rigs I've ever seen. And
The lighting needs to be consistent for this to work. What they did is they actually had ring lights that were infrared. So they just washed the scene in infrared light, and we can't see
Meinst du,
infrared light in the main
die haben
camera.
auch einen der Eingänge, so wie Andy bei uns, abgeklebt, damit da keiner ein
Ja.
Kabel
Falsche Kabel reinsteckt, ja.
Möglich?
Alter.
Ganz schön auffällig, ey. Holy shit.
I can't see infrared light. Only the reference cameras, or the witness cameras they're called, could see.
what's important about using infrared light like that is that it gives you a really evenly lit image, whereas like in these scenes, there's like harsh shadows and high key lights. And if you have a 3D model that later you want to be able to relight it and have it be flexible, so you need that evenness.
I'm just gonna get the wine now.
During this process, in order to make sure that their CG models accurately looked like these characters, they actually ran a process. It is basically an AI-based deepfake to get reference frames.
They'd pick a
Oh
scene
mein
in the
Gott,
movie
die haben
and
quasi
AI
die
would get
Deepfake-Technologie dafür benutzt.
Ja, ja. Und dann aus
selection
allen
of
Filmen.
frames
die
from
nicht sogar
other
eher
old
daher?
movies and media being like, here's a picture
Das weiß ich
of
nicht.
Robert De Niro making the same expression at the age you're looking for under the lighting conditions you're looking for.
Dang.
It wasn't used to comp, it was just used to compare and
Whoa.
for reference.
Krass.
They wouldn't dare. Jimmy, please, Frank.
So you can capture a 3D model, great. You can retarget the performance, great. You still need to render it in your scene. And so they're going the tried and true, like mathematically based route of recreating the lighting. And for every new lighting setup, they plop a LiDAR in the middle of the scene and do a quick scan of the room to get the exact positioning of all the lights. Then they capture an HDRI, so the lighting ends up being perfectly photoreal and it ends up being a perfect match. It's just ingenious how they're able to capture the performance and rebuild a 3D model on set without any tracking markers.
Jeez, man, that sounds like the way to go.
To be totally honest, the less like high-tech junk you need to have to deal with, you will get a better performance because you can focus on the story, et cetera, et cetera.
You know what? I'm noticing a severe lack of bad VFX. We're all about our cool VFX shots, but what about the bad ones?
Those are the fun ones, man.
Yeah, I want your help. Please leave a comment below telling us a bad effect from a movie that you want us to respond to.
Hi.
Upgrade. A nice little sleeper hit of an action movie made for $4 million.
Really? 4 million? That's
Yeah,
it?
for $4 million. So, quick premise. The guy's a quadriplegic and he has a computer chip in his neck that's controlling his body. He's not controlling his body at all. So if he's in a room surrounded by bad guys, and the computer's like, do you want me to kill the bad guys? And he goes, yes.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
Such
Oh,
a
das
cool
ist ein
effect. I like
cooler
how the
Shot.
computer moves his
Ja.
head out of the way so he doesn't get punched.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Dude, I lost it in
Bisschen Mortal
theaters
Kombat.
when that
I
happened.
screamed when that
Yeah,
happened.
same, same.
Yeah. I know how I got these scars.
Aber von der
Did you guys
Bewegung
notice
und so
anything
hat
about
es sehr
the
was
camera
vertürmt.
Yeah, it moves with him.
How would you guys do this?
This doesn't seem to be like a post-stabilization effect because the thing you always notice when it's post-stabilization is that the motion blur doesn't line up.
So let's say you have a shot where an actor's going like this with their head back and forth, right? Then let's say you stabilize that so their head stays locked in the frame. But what happens is that motion blur is still there, so their face just becomes kind of like weirdly horizontally smeared every once in a while, even if they're staying locked down. And that look isn't existing here in Upgrade, so they're doing something special.
So basically what they did was they strapped an iPhone to the actor's chest. The camera rig that they were using could communicate with the phone's gyroscope. So when the phone goes this way, the camera goes this way.
What?
And you're getting all of that tracking
What?
in camera.
Alter, was geht mit dieser
So you might think
Kamera?
all this crazy tech is just to come up with some cool visuals in an action scene, but it actually serves a story purpose. The main character, he's disconnected from his body. So it's all about the world moving around him. He sits in one spot and his body moves, and it's such a great, ingenious way to make action serve the story. It's a cool movie, you should check it out.
Mega
Holy
cool.
moly, Alter.
Gibt es eigentlich, dass man irgendeinen Film, würde ich total gerne, gerade deswegen, mal komplett ohne Spezialeffekte sehen. Also den kompletten Film, aber ohne Effekte. Allein schon der Typ, der würde die ganze Zeit im Film mit dem iPhone auf seiner Brust rumrennen. Das finde ich irgendwie mal total interessant.
Das habe ich bei Transformers mal gesehen, als ich bei Michael Bay in der Production war und die den Anfang vom letzten Transformers gerendert haben. Da hast du dann halt gesehen, dann stehen da halt nicht Millionen von Viecher rum, wo die Schlacht ist mit dem Drachen, sondern dann sind da halt nur so 100 Leute statt 1000 und super viele grüne Flächen, wo irgendwelche Katapulte dann stehen sollten, die halt nicht da waren. Aber dann zwischendurch explodiert dann einfach irgendwo ein Sprengsatz, der halt diese Feuerbälle macht, weil die Feuerbälle will er echt haben. Also es ist total Banane, wenn du es siehst. Es macht überhaupt gar keinen Sinn, was da gefilmt wird. Also
Im neuen Transformer hast du Drachen
mega
und
gut.
Katapulte?
in dem letzten Transformers.
Im neuen Jay, der meinst
Nicht,
der 2
nicht im
Jahre alt
Bumblebee.
ist.
Keine Ahnung, ich frage
Bumblebee-
nur mal. So
Bumblebee
Das
der
war
letzte.
aber kein echter Drache, also echter Drache, sondern so ein, ich
Ja,
glaube,
es
so ein
war
Autodrache,
Mechadrache.
oder?
Ein Mechadrache.
Mechadrache, ja, okay. Hier Elysium mit
Das ist
Matt
sehr
Damon.
interessant. Ja, echt gut.
Ja, der Shot war auch
Nee,
ziemlich
Moment.
awesome.
Elysium war überhaupt nicht gut.
So cool looking. I love like
Ich
just
fand den
the
ganz cool.
weapon
Fand den auch
concept
okay.
work in this.
Ja, aber der hatte, also der war nicht so gut wie damals District.
District
Ah,
9.
ja, ja,
Ja,
Nein.
District 9 war besser.
Da wollten die ja dran anknüpfen.
Wie heißt District 9
Und,
eigentlich auf Deutsch?
District 9, glaube ich.
Okay.
Behind Enemy Lines.
Ja. Hinter feindlichen Linien. Oh, da hast du diesen
Stabilizer.
There's
Motion
your
Track.
stabilization
Yeah, you can see the
motion blur.
Yeah. I love how the plot of this movie is like Matt Damon gets an exoskeleton and then everything goes wrong. It's basically that.
Oh, I love this. All right, I'm gonna take a guess that the door is already scored and they're just erasing the seams and they just pop out the door
Yeah.
when it's time.
So
It's
cool.
gotta be practical.
Yeah, like you can see the reflection of the ground on his shadow.
Oh, look how it flexes when it hits the ground.
Yeah, there's
no
no
way. Yeah.
So they're probably painting in the hot glow on the door when it falls, the sparks too.
I like how he flips through the shapes, though. That's the best part.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not like a star shape.
A heart.
Yeah, freaking heart.
Tech doors, tech lights, tech everything.
Tech Damon.
Tech Dana.
He missed. That's the best part. He
I
misses.
love that.
You're in the gun room. Take the guns. Yes.
Shooting through the walls, amazing. Amazing.
Holy shit. Da kann ich
So
mich gar nicht mehr
flies
erinnern.
off there. Bonk.
Boom!
Wow.
That's a great effect. I love how you can see the bullet trails too.
Yeah. The hard thing with bullets is like showing
Yeah,
motion.
hab ich
Like
nicht mal
when movies just show squibs going off, it's just not as impactful as showing exit wounds, trails. Like you need to show the momentum of a bullet to give it impact.
But that guy's just CG.
I don't know.
I feel like that guy's probably real and they're just painting out pieces of him. All they're removing is his leg, head, and arms.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Boss's face needs a fix-up.
This is crazy. The way it moves, like the way everything pops back into place.
Dude, I think they actually built a prosthetic Charlton Copley head, and they tore it apart and reversed it.
In stop motion?
Yes.
Because it does move like stop motion. I don't know, like, look at the way the skin grows around the eye. I don't think it's a prosthetic thing.
The overall motion of it reminds me of every claymation video I've ever seen.
All right, here's Nico's final thesis on how this is done. It's a model, like a crazy prosthetic wax model. They're doing CG on top of that to make everything start to grow back in. Then the light passes over us, and now the base layer is the clean footage of the actor with some leftover images from the prosthetic and some of the CG bits still on there, comped on, growing back in. And it's the motion, though, that makes it so weird. And that's, you know, as with everything, that motion, like, really sells it.
Neil won't around with claymation. I know Neil.
Das finde ich auch so krass, was wir hier schon für Szenen gesehen haben, weißt du, aber fuck wird ausgepiept.
Amerika.
Woo-wee, boys, those are some crazy visual effects, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Nice.
So we heard your guys' questions about how we make these videos.
Ja, das war wirklich, also das war super interessant. Ich glaube,
Ja.
Sven hat das vorgeschlagen und das ist die Folge 18 gewesen von VFX-Artists.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, die anderen
React.
17 Folgen werde ich mir mal angucken.
Ich mir auch
nice.
schon
Das finde ich sehr interessant.
super interessant.
Vor allem, wenn du dann halt Filme siehst, die du halt selber kennst und dann endlich verstehst, wie das dahinter gemacht wurde oder so, weil dich das selber dann vielleicht noch mehr interessiert. Voll
Ja.
cool.
Mega gut. Ich hoffe, das fandet ihr auch interessant. War jetzt ein bisschen nischig heute, aber hey, wir danken vielmals fürs Zuschauen und hoffen, ihr seid auch morgen wieder dabei. Bis dahin, haut rein.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.